We don't want you around. You say you don't f with us, we don't gotta f with you, Swerve, bro.
Hey, look, man. I just landed in Miami right now, so I'm gonna make this real brief. I got shit to do, you feel me? But sometimes you gotta make an example out of people, you know? And I'm saying
6 bullets. That's all it took to silence and make an example out of a man who thought he could ban a millionaire rapper from the very streets they both called home. The shooting happened just 6 days after J-Dog went viral for publicly humiliating his childhood friend, G Herbo, telling him he was no longer welcome on their South Side Chicago block. And what investigators discovered about who actually pulled the trigger, that's going to shock you even more than you think. This is the tragic story of Jermaine J-Dog Harris.
I got problems, I've been up all morning, so you know gotta solve it. Nigga play with me, I'ma let this gun off. Damn, baby on her knees, yeah, I told her get off.
J-Dog wasn't just some random guy from the streets. He was an affiliate of No Limit Muskegon Boys, NLMB for short, one of Chicago's most notorious Black Disciples sets that's been bleeding numbers since 2010. Over 50 people connected to NLMB have been lost to the streets. Their territory? The exact same blocks where G Herbo, real name Herbert Wright, grew up before he became a multi-millionaire rapper with over 60 million views on his music videos. And that's precisely where the tension started brewing. Mid-September, G Herbo did something that would spark a deadly chain of events. He returned to 78th Street to film a music video for his track No Reason, bringing cameras, production crews, and most importantly, attention back to the neighborhood he'd left behind years ago. For J-Dog and others still grinding on those same corners, this wasn't a homecoming, it was a slap in the face. Because while Herbo was flying private jets and living in luxury high-rises, they were still dodging bullets in abandoned buildings, still struggling to keep the lights on, still watching their friends get buried.
All I said is, don't come back in the hood, we don't want you around. You say you don't f with us, we don't gotta f with you, Swerve, bro. And you ride like you in the city, you whatever you doing, bro. I'm at the same hood, nigga. The same spot you just brought Sexy Red and 492, nigga. I'm out here. Stop bapping. What other hood I gonna hang out at?
Between September 23rd and 25th, J-Dog went live, and what he said went absolutely nuclear across social media. The video racked up over 100,000 views in just days, and every single word was designed to humiliate G Herbo in the most public way possible.
They got tombstones, walls knocked down, no more stoves on certain blocks on Escanaba. Like we asking for is we ain't want your money, bro. Open up something, bro. Give us something. Like, you know, we can go to the store right here. We can't even go to the store no more.
J-Dog didn't hold back. He accused Herbo of being a fraud, of rapping about a life he no longer lived, of selling dreams to the neighborhood without giving anything back. He claimed Herbo had promised to give out chains worth $150 each, promised to sign local artists like Little 40 and Crazy James, all lies according to J-Dog. Where was Herbo when guys needed bail money? Nowhere. Where was he when families couldn't afford funeral costs? J-Dog painted a picture of a rapper who exploited the hood for street credibility while leaving everyone else to suffer.
Stop that. But I would love you to come. We can sit down and talk face to face. You want to talk like a man, bro. Because I said my one thing, and I done watch all y'all go all night trolling and saying what y'all want to say. And if you a big dog, big homie, come talk to me face to face, nigga.
But J-Dog didn't stop at calling out Herbo's hypocrisy. He went further, much further. He issued what in street culture amounts to a death sentence. Don't bring your behind back to 78th Street. You'll have problems. In Chicago's drill scene where respect and territory mean everything, this wasn't just tough talk. This was a direct challenge, a line in the sand. And everyone watching knew that someone, either J-Dog or Herbo, would have to back up their words. The streets went crazy. Social media erupted. Everyone was watching to see how G Herbo would respond. Would he ignore it? Would he address it diplomatically? Or would he do what hip-hop beef culture demands? Fire back. He chose to fire back. On September 25th, G Herbo posted on Instagram addressing J-Dog's disrespect directly. His message was cold, calculated, and dripping with contempt.
I'm saying all that to say, like, I get a nigga my page, you can have my profile, my platform for 48 hours, 28 hours, whatever, however the fucking long it's gonna take for this shit to delete. And that's only because they gonna forget about you in another 24 hours. But I want you to get some recognition.
Like, what the fuck? How you doing? See, neighbors love us. They still, like, they know who the real, who the fake. Hey, babe, you know what I'm saying? This shit going on. You feel me? It's no more store. The wall Fazo used to be at post up right here. Like, the whole store is broke down, make me want to cry. Like, y'all don't even understand. Like, where's this store at? Where is it at? The store, the green store, Bandy. Like, what the fuck? Like, you getting all this money, you talk about this shit. Like, this what you live. Fazo, like, this MB, y'all getting all this money. It's still bandit cribs and shit that ain't get built out here. This shit terrible. The same crib for 20 years I used to stand on is still bandit. When we shot the fake niggas in the gangway right here on Escadaba. Yeah, you know that. See what I'm saying? You were kin with Alicia? They know who the real is. They know I'm from Fazo land. I've been out here for a lot of you little niggas. Y'all bapping.
Herbo's response was genius in its cruelty. He wasn't threatening J-Dog. He was dismissing him, treating him like a joke, like someone so irrelevant that even his 15 minutes of viral fame would be forgotten in 24 hours. But then, Herbo added the ultimate insult. He dug up an old video, a clip from years ago, showing him beating J-Dog in a fight and posted it for the world to see. The message was clear. You already lost to me once. You're still losing. The words hung in the air like a threat disguised as advice. Make an example out of people. In Chicago streets, those words mean something. They mean consequences. They mean someone's about to get taught a lesson. The comment section exploded with speculation. Was Herbo putting a target on J-Dog's back? Was this a veiled threat? Or was J-Dog already marked for something far worse than anyone could have imagined? The shooter didn't come from O-Block. He didn't come from a rival gang looking to score points against NLMB. He wasn't sent by G Herbo or anyone connected to the rapper. The man who ambushed J-Dog in that alley, the man who fired 19 bullets from 2 different guns, was his own gang member, Fabius L. Shipman, also known as NLMB Fab or G-Fabe, a 37-year-old NLMB affiliate with a limp and a burgundy White Sox hat. And the reason he did it had almost nothing to do with G Herbo at all. Let me walk you through what really happened on September 29th, 2025 at approximately 3:36 in the afternoon. A black Cadillac Escalade rolled up to the alley near 2500 East 78th Street. J-Dog and his 19-year-old friend were walking through, probably heading to a corner store or just hanging out like any other day. Nothing seemed unusual until Fabius Shipman stepped out of that SUV. According to the federal ATF criminal complaint that would later be filed, surveillance cameras captured everything. Shipman, identifiable by his distinct limp and the same burgundy and white Chicago White Sox hat he'd been spotted wearing in previous encounters, approached J-Dog and the teenager. There was a brief argument. Words were exchanged. And then, in one fluid motion that showed this wasn't his first time, Shipman reached into his waistband and pulled out not 1, but 2 handguns. What happened next was execution-style violence. Shipman dual-wielded both pistols, firing with 1 gun in each hand, like something out of an action movie, except this was real life, and real bullets were tearing through real human bodies. J-Dog tried to run. He made it maybe a few steps before 6 rounds slammed into his back. The 19-year-old took a bullet in the chest. 19 shell casings would later be recovered from the scene, evidence of 2 different caliber weapons being fired simultaneously. J-Dog collapsed face down in that alley, blood pooling, life draining. His friend somehow stayed conscious long enough to stumble toward help, clutching his chest wound. Emergency scanners lit up. Male, 27, struck with multiple rounds in the back, pronounced dead at the scene. Male, 19, chest wound, critical condition, en route to trauma center. But here's where this story takes another dark turn. The G Herbo beef, the viral interview, the Instagram back and forth, that was all noise. The real reason J-Dog died had been brewing for days before he ever called out the rapper. And it had almost nothing to do with a fight that most people never even heard about. Days before the fatal shooting, J-Dog had gotten into a physical altercation with another NLMB member known on the streets as Big Op. And J-Dog didn't just win that fight, he dominated it. He embarrassed Big Op in front of people, made him look weak, made him look like a target. In gang culture, especially in Chicago, where image and respect determine whether you live or die, that kind of humiliation doesn't just slide, it demands a response. But Big Op didn't come for J-Dog himself. Instead, someone close to Big Op, someone who felt obligated to restore his honor, decided to handle it. That someone was Fabius L. Shipman, the same man who would later be caught on crystal clear surveillance footage ending J-Dog's life. So while everyone on social media was focused on the G Herbo beef, the diss tracks, the Instagram posts, the predictions of street retaliation from the rapper's camp, the real threat was coming from inside NLMB itself. J-Dog's own people, the ones he trusted to have his back, the ones who were supposed to be his brothers. This is what J-Dog's cousin would later expose in a series of emotional social media posts that went viral. He said they set him up, dirty NLMB. The enemies aren't outside, they're in the house. His voice cracking with pain and rage as he detailed how J-Dog had been betrayed, not by rivals, not by G Herbo's people, but by the very gang he had pledged his loyalty to. Shonkrax exposed the dark underbelly of NLMB's internal politics, young members fighting each other over territory that wasn't even profitable anymore. Old heads like Shipman, broke and bitter at 37 with nothing to show for decades in the streets, lashing out at anyone who made them feel inadequate. A gang structure so fractured that violence didn't even need a rational motive anymore. It was just the default response to any perceived slight. And here's the most disturbing part of this entire tragedy. When federal agents arrested Fabius Shipman on October 18, 2025, nearly 3 weeks after the murder, he wasn't just charged with being a felon in possession of ammunition. Investigators discovered something that made this case even more damning. Shipman had been on pre-trial release for a separate felony case in Posen when he committed the murder. He'd been given a second chance by the criminal justice system. He'd been trusted to stay out of trouble while awaiting trial. And what did he do with that freedom? He used it to execute someone in daylight with 2 guns.
Threes, all we know is the odds. Watch it with my heat, hope a nigga don't care. I just wanna get this money, hoping you.
The federal criminal complaint reads like a masterclass in how modern surveillance technology can solve murders. ATF agents reviewed the alley footage with forensic specialists. An ex-Chicago Police Department investigator identified Shipman based on his distinctive limp, a gait pattern that had been documented during his previous arrest in 2019 for federal cocaine trafficking, a case where he'd served 5 years in federal prison. Opposing police officer confirmed that the burgundy and White Sox hat matched exactly what Shipman had been wearing during a traffic stop earlier in the year, captured on body camera footage. And yet, as of the time federal charges were filed, Shipman faced only weapons charges, being a felon in possession of ammunition. No murder charge. Not yet. Because the feds were playing a longer game. They were building pressure, creating leverage, stacking charges that could put Shipman away for 30 to 50 years under federal sentencing guidelines, especially with the armed career criminal enhancement hanging over his head. Why? Because federal investigators wanted Shipman to flip. They wanted him to become an informant, to testify against NLMB's leadership structure, against other shooters, against the entire criminal enterprise. And at 37 years old, staring down the barrel of spending the rest of his life in federal prison versus potentially getting out at 47 with a cooperation deal, the pressure to snitch was astronomical. Street analysts and observers who follow Chicago gang cases closely were putting the odds of Shipman cooperating at 90%. The video evidence was too strong, his age made him more likely to break than a younger shooter with nothing to lose. His previous federal case in 2019 meant he already knew how the system worked, knew what kind of deal could be offered, knew that fighting it was futile. While everyone was watching G Herbo and J-Dog's beef play out online, another player in Chicago's hip-hop scene was quietly making a move that would add salt to NLMB's open wounds. Lil Bibby, a rapper from rival gang O Block, posted a photo on Instagram showing himself smiling alongside two friends. The caption? Completely unnecessary, because the message in that picture was brutally clear. We outlasted you. The post went viral for all the wrong reasons. It wasn't just a flex, it was psychological warfare. Bibby was essentially saying, while your gang is tearing itself apart from the inside, while you're killing each other over Instagram beef and fistfights, we're still here, still standing, still winning. For NLMB members already reeling from J-Dog's death and the betrayal of having one of their own as the shooter, that post was a dagger straight to the heart. The timing couldn't have been more deliberate or cruel. Bibby, who'd been relatively quiet on social media regarding gang politics, chose this specific moment to resurface with a rare post celebrating his crew's longevity. No threats, no direct disrespect, just three men alive and free, which in Chicago's gang landscape might as well be the ultimate victory. But let's talk about what really sealed J-Dog's fate. It wasn't just the big op fight. It wasn't just the G Herbo diss. It was the fundamental misunderstanding of what happens when you chase clout in an environment where clout gets you killed. J-Dog looked at other NLMB members like J Doogie and Cairo who had publicly called out G Herbo for abandoning the streets and thought, I can do that too. I can go viral like they did. What he failed to realize was that in Chicago's drill scene, going viral for dissing someone with resources, whether that's a rapper, a gang leader, or even just someone more connected than you, puts a timer on your life. Look at the pattern. FBG Duck dissed O Block in a track called Dead Ops in 2020. He was hunted down and shot 64 times in broad daylight on the Gold Coast, one of Chicago's wealthiest neighborhoods. KTS Vaughn trolled rival gangs online while locked up, talked recklessly on recorded jail calls, and was ambushed with 64 rounds the moment he was released from Cook County Jail. The formula is consistent and predictable. Viral moment plus street involvement equals death. Social media has created an environment where young men can gain thousands of followers overnight by saying the most disrespectful, inflammatory things possible about people who have proven they're willing to commit violence. And every single time, the same people who cheer them on, who boost their views, who share their content and comment, he's keeping it real, those same people disappear the moment bullets start flying. J-Dog's funeral on October 14th, 2025 was a subdued affair. No major hip-hop figures attended, no live streams, no media circus. Just family and a handful of real friends mourning a man whose 15 minutes of internet fame cost him everything. Do you think Fabe will snitch and maybe reveal G Herbo's connection to the shooting? Let me know what you think in the comments section. Click on one of the cards on your screen to see more videos like this.